Tucker is second in race 1. Someone's going up the bank. Where's he going? That's a long way round. It's going to be, it's got 2 of those Yamahas in 1 and 2. It's Melot, it's Everts and Melot. At the moment, there's a Suzuki there in 3rd. It's Everts and Melot. Yes, 72 from 4. It's Coppins is there as well. So was Pascal Leray. Number 6, I'll get it right this time. Pascal, not calling it Kendi Dyker. Very sorry about that, Trevor. I do apologise, all our Multitech fans out there. So I'm only looking at the small screen here. So sometimes if you move slightly to one side, you can't quite see the whole of the screen. Never mind. That's because I wear lousy glasses. I do wear contacts at times, but then I have to wear 2 different sets of glasses to see the picture. Everts it is that leads it. Stefan, the champion, the king. We've got to keep saying it. We've got to start saying it because only some great disaster is going to deny this man the 10th crown. But we've got the 2 Suzukis there. Well, this is not unfamiliar, I have to say. 24 and 11, side by side. Whoa, that straw bale just on the inside of that corner, making sure they don't go into that dip. That is Tanel Leuk on the number 12 Kawasaki behind the 2 Suzukis. Everts through the Winchester Waves. Melot, then it's Ramon, then it is Strybus. Where is Coppins? Well, Josh, as always, will pace himself and then start to charge. Those Suzukis are going to want to get past Melot. There is Josh. There, I think that is Coppins just on the inside of Leok. Yes, it is, the number 2 on his back. Everts leads away with his teammate Cedric Melot behind him. So the 2 Intersports Rinaldi Yamahas 1 and 2. We've got the 2 Suzukis, the GBR Suzukis there in a fight here between Leok and Coppins. Well, Coppins would not have experienced Leok at this rate of performance, because Leok has really come good this year, and he's going for this. He's pushing Coppins to one side, and Leok has really started to go. The young Estonian has really found his feet in 2006. It was boiling in 2005, and look at Coppins. He says, excuse me, you can't do that to me, I'm a veteran. You cannot put me behind. You know, young upstart Estonian, stand back and let the Kiwi come through, and he does. So can Coppins now get on terms with those 2 Suzukis? Strybus, Coppins, Leok, that's the top 6. Pascal Leray, Johnny Lind, Marvin Vandelli, Bill, Julian Bill, and Jonesy. Mark Jones, 11th at the moment. Manuel Prima, Noel Melot, where are you going? Cedric Melot, what did I say about his second race? What did I say? He seems to have a good first race and goes to bits in the second race. So concentration level, got Dyker behind him. So what's going on there? Garcia Vico, terrible start for him. Glenn Phillips down in 24th. Danny Tabor's also there. Further down, well, Pirinen, Antti-Pirinen on the TM, the only TM out there. 29th, he'll fight through, try and get himself up into the top 15 if he can. So the poor lad just not having a great one. At the moment, looks like Leok's gone back past Coppins. Yes, he has, and now Leok is going to set about splitting those 2 Kawasakis. So, of course, Tanel Leok, well, the Brit fans will take him to heart because he did ride in the National Championship about a year ago, and he did get a podium. I remember it was down at Torrington. And it doesn't say an awful lot when you do an interview with him. He doesn't say, what's going on there? Someone chucking up an awful lot of dirt coming out of that corner. There's some big berms beginning to develop on those corners. So there is Kevin Strybus. He's now got Tanel Leok right behind him. So Belgium versus Estonia, Kawasaki versus Suzuki. Steve Ramon, however, has decided to go after Stefan Everts. We've seen this before, and we've seen, of course, last week we saw Strybus get right up the inside of Everts on a corner. Stefan must have thought, yeah, okay, I'm going to let you get here. I'm going to let you think you're going to overtake me, and then I'm just going to open the throttle and leave you behind, which is exactly what Stefan did. Talk about demoralise the poor lad after he did all that work to get with him. So Strybus just watched the Intersports Yamaha disappear into the horizon and probably thought, oh, well, hang on. Best lap from Steve Ramon at the moment, 2:03.946, did it on lap 2. So Steve Ramon is on a mission to say the least. And I have to say that, Everts, Ramon and Strybus from Leok. Ooh, you can smile. You can smile. I forgot his name there, never mind. Coppins is in 5th from Johnny Lind, and then Pascal Leray. I'm looking right down there. James Noble 15th for the British people that are watching. Jonathan Barrigan is in 12th. Dyker 16th. Well, I don't know what's happened to him. Teammate to Coppins, who had a great race 1, those 2. Looks like it's not going to be such a good race for race 2. I'm not even going to start predicting now who's going to finish the overall. Well, we know who's going to be on the top step, don't we? I mean, let's face it, we know who's going to be there. You might as well just give it to him and let him go home with it and keep it. Red plate, I think Everts is going to keep that from the whole season because he's had it from round 1. So no doubt Stefan Everts intends, I think they're going to let him keep that red plate. Certainly gets to keep that red plate as a memento. But no one else is going to get their fingers on that at the moment. It's Tanner Leok now. And the two Suzukis, well, now Leok is now closing up on the two Suzukis. There's Everts now. We've seen Leok put Everts under pressure before, haven't we? We've seen it, and Everts made a mistake. Everts will not want to get tangled in this little group because these are all young chargers. There is Didyka, looks to be making some adjustments to the bike, so maybe he's had a bit of a fall, caught the clutch or something, and he's trying to knock it back into place. So there is young Kevin Strybus. Now, what can Kevin do? That's the question. Can he get past Steve Ramon? Now, I'm sure Kevin will want to get past his teammate because he'll want to have a crack at that man, Stefan Everts. He's the race leader for the second time today. And, yeah, these three guys, the young guys. You've got Everts, you've got Ramon, then you've got Strybus, and you've got, of course, Tanner Leok. Three young guys chasing the 32-year-old 9-times world champion. And here comes Ramon. Well, this is it. This is Didyka clashing with, well, that's Didyka falling. Clashed with, I think it was James Noble. It was James Noble. Well, that's happened before between those two, and it was Noble last time that came off worse, so perhaps that's a little bit of a payback. But I don't suppose from one moment James Noble did that deliberately, because James is not like that at all. He's a very fair young man. Everts, however, out front, is will now begin to realise what's going on. He'll realise that he's got three riders all itching to put him back at least a couple of places. And he'll also realise that two of those are Suzukis that put him under pressure before. And he'll also know that one of them's green in the shape of Leok, the Van der Groot Kawasaki, that has also put him under pressure before. And Stefan, we know he can make mistakes when he gets flustered. When he gets riders with him, he can make mistakes. Unusual, but he's pushed to his limit. He likes to get out the start, likes to get a good start, likes to pull a 5 or 6 second gap over second place man and then just set a rhythm, a pace, and Everts just then likes to cruise right through the race. But if he's got young whippersnappers snarling at his heels, as he has now, and Coppins is there, well, he's the not the oldest man in the group, because Josh is now about 28. He's going to be watching what's going on in front and thinking, okay, guys, I've picked up your lines, I know where you're fast, I know where you're slow. Okay, I'm going to now mount a challenge and pick you off one at a time. Coppins is an experienced campaigner. He's been around some years. He's been in the World Championship. He's had seconds, he's had thirds, he's had fourths. Never had a win. Is he going to be a Monique Bavort? Is he going to be a Kurt Nicholl? I hope not, because I want him to win a World Championship more than almost anything I can think of, because he deserves it, because he's a great guy. Now, I know you guys down there in New Zealand, probably you're on different time scale to what we are at the moment, because I think you're, where are we now? It's about just after 4 o'clock here in the UK, so it's probably about 3 o'clock in the morning in New Zealand at the moment. Some of you may be watching on TV, maybe watching on a computer. I'm sure you'll be watching our highlights program when it comes out later on. But you'll be agreeing that, of course, you want Coppins to do the bit, to win the World Championship. Next year may be his chance. We'll have to wait and see 2007. It's certainly going to be a year that World FA Motocross is going to change slightly as far as this class is concerned. Everts will be gone. You've got 9 riders, all capable of winning races. Holy smoke. If we get 15 rounds and 9 different winners, we're going to have one hell of a last quarter to the championship, that's for sure. I can't wait. And 2006 not over yet. I can't wait for it. Oh, Everts has gone down. What did I say? What did I say about he can make mistakes when he gets flustered? Lucky not to get caught up in that green netting. You get that stuff locked around your back wheel, and look at this. Coppins is beside him. That means Steve Ramon leads. Ramon has it. Now, can he keep it? Is Everts going to fight back? Everts, well, I'll tell you what, he'll fight back to make sure that he gets the over result. Coppins is not raced for 7 Grand Prix. This is the 8th Grand Prix. He's been out of it for 7 Grand Prix, and oh, Everts is taking him wide. Everts is bumping and barging his way through, but Josh has been there before. He knows that game, and he knows the game with the man that he's racing with, because he raced with him last year in South Africa. Everts fell, Coppins went past, he looked back and thought, what the dickens is going on? He didn't even realise he was in the lead. And the man with the checkered flag didn't realise he was in the lead, because when he went over the finish line, the man in the checkered flag didn't wave it, and Coppins was looking back thinking, I thought I just won that race. Everts came through and he gave him the checkered flag. So the poor old, it was on the last lap of course, the poor old finishing marshal in South Africa last year was so confused he didn't know what was going on. Hey, or not, we in the commentary tower we were confused as well, because it all happened in front of us. Let's have a look at it again. There's Ramon. Everts came round that corner. Well, he got the back end got away from him. The back end slid away. His weight was not quite in the right place. He didn't have his foot down to steady him, and down he went. Now, what can Everts do? Well, we've got him, of course, here still leading the race. They haven't passed the finish line yet, so it's where the transponders will send the beep across to the timing mechanisms, trigger the computers, and we'll get a complete new list of riders. And there it is. Steve Ramon just pops up as race leader. There's Kelly. Should be thinking, but don't worry. Tanulik is the next man on Everts' list. Leok, Everts is fourth. Leok is third. She's come on, she says, come on. Doesn't need I tell you what, she doesn't need to cheer that man on because he's motivated. He will now want to win this more than anything, just to prove to all the young guns that are behind him, hey, I might make the odd mistake, but I can still beat the lot of you. Preem, Bradshaw, Verhoeven, that's 13th, 14th and 15th, Tabers, Bogkov and Claudio Frederici. And 18th. And then we got Freeberg's Dyke at 20th from Mark Jonesy boy, what are you doing? You had such a good start. Pirinen up to 22nd, Salvini. Column there in 24th, the young Kiwi. Kovalainen and Dobes in 26. Everts closing on the man that's currently in third place. Now, I've got to say something. We don't often see this on our monitors. Ramon, Strybus, Leok and Everts. That's something we're not accustomed to seeing. However, I'm fairly sure that will change. 23 minutes to go, plus 2 laps. Into the Winchester waves they go. Big berms building up now on the corners. Dust has been kept down by consummate watering over the last few days. Tankers have been coming in at a massive cost of over £20,000. Over 1 million gallons of water have been poured on this track. So anybody out there thinking, well, I thought you had a water shortage in the south of England. We actually do have a water shortage, but Steve Dixon has put his hand in his pocket and he's brought the water in, so it's still around. Just goes to show that water is around, isn't it, eh? But here we're panning back, we're looking for that man, and there he is. Number 11 over the jump, it's Steve Ramon, and he's making good for that error in race 1 when he fell whilst hole-shotting. He'll be happy with this if he can just keep it. In the moment he's, what is he now? 1 second he is. Everts is best part of 10 seconds behind the, well, 8 seconds behind the race leader. 22.5 plus 2 to go, and look, the board is being waved by his mechanic, saying, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. I bet that board's saying just that. Keep it going, keep it in line, keep your rhythm up, keep your rhythm. Just keep going, keep your head down, keep the power on, and you could win the race. He did it once before. Steve Ramon on the Lumbrick 11 machine. He's won before. He can do it again, I'm sure he can. Holy smoke, well, he won. Well, actually, he hasn't won a race because Steve Ramon's had a lot of good results. He had a good result the first one, 18, 16 points in Flanders, 15 to 20 in Spain, 14 and a DNF in Portugal. So he's been up and around there. His best results have come in the last 2 Grand Prix, 2 third places in Bulgaria and 2 fourth places in Italy. So maybe he's going to turn that luck around here by taking the 25, the maximum points possible for a Grand Prix win here in the Grand Prix of England, here in Matterley Basin in Winchester, in the southwest of England, I should say. A bit difficult, I'm just going to compass out and work it out. It is south of London. Flying to Heathrow Airport, come straight down the M25, jump on the M3, straight down here, pick up the signs, junction 10. That's where we'll have the Motocross of Nations, 23rd, 24th of September. Don't forget, you can get your half-season review DVD from the 4th of July. We're busy putting it together now. You can get it by going on to www.motocrossmx1, one word, motocrossmx1.com. Okay? www.motocrossmx1.com. From the 4th of July, the half-season review will be available, okay? Or if you're away from on holiday or something and you want to watch the motocross, take your computer with you, or get a computer, get onto Media Zone, get yourself dialed in and get yourself your membership sorted out, and you can watch live motocross on Media Zone. So we've got all the action coming here from the last race of this British Grand Prix here in Matterley Basin, Great Britain, Winchester. It is the number 11 machine that leads of Steve Ramon. It is and there is Everts. He was the early race leader. He made one of those unusual mistakes. Relax, they say, relax. So that's his dad there. Well, his father seems to have got very much more involved with Stefan actively at the track. over the last couple of years, which is good to see. Nice to see Harry. I'm trying to get him to come in the more and do some commentary with us, but Harry's saying, oh, but my English is no good. And I say, your English is fine. If we can get Nobby a wader, as we had last week in Italy, and Nobby's Japanese, and his English is, well, it's humorous at the best of times. But Nobby Wader did a great job. So did Tom Church last week. We'll have to get Tommy Serling next. He won't know what to say. Tommy won't. Everts' head going down, so a big jump there. He landed heavily. Head popped down again. He's trying to get back on to Tanel Leok, who's currently in third place. And Leok has been a bit of a nemesis this year for Stefan Everts, because Leok did indeed put him under pressure and cause him to crash in an earlier Grand Prix. Leok will not want to be passed, even by the 9 times world champion. Leok will want to keep his place third. Now let's have a look at the, well, we call it the virtual standings. We would have Everts, Strybus and Coppins. As it stays at the moment, Everts, Strybus and Coppins. If Everts gets back in front of anybody now, it won't make any difference to the overall standings. It will still be Everts, but it's Strybus and Coppins, 40 points to 36. If Coppins can get on terms with these guys, he's currently back in 5th place. If Everts moves up and one of the other 3 riders in front makes a mistake, Coppins will move up, and that will strengthen his possibility. So Coppins coming back after missing 7 Grand Prix on the British Honda team. He will be on the podium. Josh is back. The Kiwi kid is back on the gas and back. He said, I've got to get my race speed up. What more do you want him to do? Hey, on the podium in his comeback Grand Prix. Everts, Strybus, Leok will still lead the world standings. Everts has got 385 points if he stays where he is. Nearest man to him is Kevin Strybus with 293. So, 100 points, damn near the difference really, isn't it? Getting close to it. Leok will have 280, so he's only just off Strybus in third, with Ramon with 259. So, Brian Jorgensen, I did some checking out. Brian was here at the Grand Prix. I wonder if I hadn't seen him, but he picked up a back injury on the Saturday morning in free practice, and had to go to hospital, and he's decided to go home. Can't sit down, can't do anything. So Brian Jorgensen, the Danes, well, I'm sure you'll all be cheering for him when he comes back. Brian Jorgensen out of this Grand Prix with a back injury. Hopefully Jenny, his lovely wife, will apply the right kind of massage over the next week, couple of weeks. He'll be back hopefully fit for Sweden, which I'm sure will have a lot of his home fans coming to see him there. So unfortunately for Brian Jorgensen, this Grand Prix has turned into a no-no. It's not going to happen for the young lad. Joe GBR, after a great ride last week, he really did charge through the field. He really did have I can only say a very spirited ride, but at the moment Everts just doesn't seem to be able to close the gap. He'll know, he will have been told by his pit board that he still has the overall result, but he won't want to lose the race. He'd like to say, you know, you may have won the battle, but you didn't win the war. And oh, look at the back wheel of that Suzuki. It gives you some idea. Everett said that there are some sections out there that are slippery, and Ramon got a little bit rattled by that because Strybus is closing the gap. Kevin Strybus is closing the gap, and of course Kevin has had 1 Grand Prix win in Spain, the first race. So Kevin Strybus is on the gas now. His teammate is a little rattled by that little mistake he made. He'll take him a couple of laps to get his confidence back. I presume that's a language we don't speak when he's writing on that board. Presumably, probably Flemish of some kind. So Steve Ramon, you saw, now as we said, Everett said that bits of the track are a bit slippery, and we saw exactly what he meant, and we saw the back wheel of that machine slide away. He almost lost the bike. He almost disappeared over the fence. But that, of course, will spur on the man in second place, number 24, his teammate, Kevin Strybus, will see that he made that mistake and will think, if I keep pushing hard enough, he's going to make that mistake again, and I can win this race. So, I don't think it'll make any difference to the overall result, but if we just, let's have a quick look at that again. Everts on 43, Strybus, yeah, if Everts, no, it's, he needs Everts to fall a little bit further back for that. Strybus would still have an extra, if he wins the race, it's 25, he stays where he's got 20, 5 points, he would do it, he would pass Everts. He would take the overall result from Everts. So, Everts desperately now needs to get on par with Leok. He needs to get past Leok, and he needs to get with these 2 Suzukis, because I'm sure Sylvain and Eric Gabors will be well pleased to see their lads out here at the moment. Looks over his shoulder, Leok is still there. Everts is still 4 seconds behind the leader, but only 1 second behind Leok. Leok in turn only 2 seconds behind second place man, who, as you can see by your picture, is right up the rear pipe of the man in front, his teammate. Steve Ramon, and they are going for it, these guys. They really are going for it. The three are bunching up again, and we've got 15 minutes plus 2 to go, so it's not over yet. Everts will be just sorting himself out, trying to relax. Look at that style, trials rider style. Most other riders will be just foot down and blast it around the corner. He just stands up on the pegs and just kind of trials it around. It's just so smooth, yet he's still so quick. 39,000 people plus have been here this weekend. I think most of them are here today. Look at that crowd. If you compress them all into one area like we did at Ernay last year, you'd have a real bumper crowd. But hopefully the donations, we're going to fill every section of the grass with bodies and feet, and we're going to have a great motocross of nations on, of course, the 23rd, 24th of September here at Matley Basin. And they're closing up because they know. And there goes Everts. Whoa, and Tanner Leok has to give way to it. Everts, just a beautiful move there. He waved that one up. He obviously spotted to see what Leok was doing the lap before and said, okay, if I come over the jump this side, I can go right up the inside of him. And that's exactly what he did. Now, he's going to set pace to that man. If Strybus wins this race, that now means that Everts is on 20 points, not on 18 points. So, there's a Suzuki just there, stopped on the side of the track. I hope that wasn't Ramon. I definitely saw a Suzuki stop there. That is 24, so he's still in it. That's Strybus. Everts behind him. Where's the race leader? Everts, this is that battle. Oh, I think he's still out there. I thought I just caught a glimpse of that yellow bike flash through the picture, so I still think Steve Ramon is in the lead. Everts will want to prove a point here. He made a mistake, but he wants to prove that he can still beat these guys, even though he makes the odd mistake, and it's very rare. Oh, I thought that was going to get wild then, but he held on to it. Fantastic machine control this man has. So you can go down. There's Kelly, his girlfriend, once again, mother of Liam, of course, their little son. Liam will no doubt be on the podium at the end with his dad, as looking completely bewildered as he's passed the red plate again. So I think Liam's getting plenty of red plates to play with at home now. Must have a complete wall of red plates by now, I think, since we introduced this red plate scenario where the championship leader, and here he comes. Everts is on the gas. He's going to do exactly the same as he did to... No, he didn't. You saw how heavy he landed. You saw he come, his chest and head drops down on the bars. So that's a heavy landing over that jump. So he's slightly over jumping it, and he's having a look up the inside. These two could have a coming together. Strybus, second place. There's a big battle for that second place. Everts. Strybus gets away again. Everts has to close the gap. He's looking again. He's going to go around the outside and try and see if he can do it up the uphill section. He's probing right and left at the moment. Stephen Everts is finding the weak point of the man in front. The master is at work. If you're a motocross rider, watch the way this man does it. He is just probing, looking for the way forward the inside. And I think Strybus realises what's going on. He looks over his shoulder and says, oops, look who's there. Oh, and Everts almost tried it then. So they say the lesson is never look over your shoulder. Never worry about who is behind you. But I think at the moment, poor old Kevin Strybus is thinking, oh, God, here he comes. 9 times world champion. Do I stand any chance at all? The answer is probably not. But I'm sure fans of Kevin Strybus are saying, no, he can beat him. He can beat him. He can beat him. But at the moment, Everts is waiting. He's like the praying mantis waiting. Here he comes, and there it is. He waited, and he just planted that Yamaha, and oh, look at this. Oh. Strybus says, hey, excuse me, I might be young, you might be older, show me some respect. Everts comes back round the outside. What a great scrap between these two. I don't think Stefan actually realised that he was going to do that. Strybus was going to do that, and he left the door open for him, and now he's back in front, so Strybus will have another go, first chance he gets. Everts has now got his head down, he's going after that other yellow Suzuki, so homing in like a missile at the moment. That Intersport Rinaldi Yamaha will have that Suzuki in the crosshairs of his sights. He'll be looking, the button will be pressed, the Exocet missile Yamaha will be on its way to collect that bike in front, I think, in the next 5 minutes. 10, just under 11 gone. They've got 2 laps after that. Virtual GP winner. We know that, but he wants to be the race winner. He doesn't want to be just the GP winner. He wants to do it with style while winning both races. Steve Ramon hasn't won a race this year. It'd be nice to think that he can, but I have to think realistically. It's a tall order when you've got this guy behind you. As I said, next year when you consider Everts retires, last race will be in Lirop in Ernay in France, which will be a very memorable Grand Prix. I'm sure we'll have most of Belgium there for that one. I think the French are going to have a job to get a ticket to get in there because the Belgians would have bought them all. But it'll be a memorable Grand Prix for not just for Stephen Everts, but for many of us who've known him for so many years. It'll be a tearful day for many of us. and please excuse us if we do get a bit emotional and carried away, because you are looking at a legend. You are looking at a man that has done more than anybody else in this sport of motocross. He is the ambassador. He is the man that can make this sport a bigger thing, and he has done. When he goes, there will be a big gap, but that gap will be filled by a best part of 5 or 6, maybe 7 riders who are all young guns keen to take a world championship. 2007, I keep talking about it, but hey-ho, we are in for some delight. Here comes Everts. The gas is turned up. Everts' best lap at the moment, I've got to tell you, 2:04. So is Ramon's 2:04. Everts is slightly quicker, but only by hundredths of a second. Straba's 2:06, Leoc 2:07, and so is Coppins 2:07. Mellot is still there in 6th with Barragan behind him. Julian Bill in 8th. Marvin Van Dalle there in 9th, with Ken Didyka now up to 10th, so Didyka fighting back. Johnny Lynn, Garcia Vico, Manuel Priem Bradshaw and James Noble, that's your top 15. Mark Jones dropping down to 18th, with Bob Cobson 19th, behind him Salvini in 20th. Ho-hey, so it's not over yet, and the gap now is closing. Here he comes. The cross, oh, just look at that. Hey, where did he get that from? Where did that come from? He just picked the power-ups, opened the throttle, and Steve Ramon must have thought, hang on a second, you can't do that to me. Look, let me show you the way around the track. Oh, wrong line for you, Steve. Very slippy. The back will get in the way. Everts with a better line with the berm, and comes Ramon. He's not giving it up. Everts will now say, OK, I've now proved the point, boys. I've let you have your little game at the front. I'm back in front. Bye-bye, you ain't going to catch me no more, because I'm not going to make another mistake. Everts, if he makes a mistake, it shakes him up a bit, and he then sort of says, hang on, relax, be cool, just keep my pace, keep my line, and I'll be okay. Don't get flustered. They ain't going to catch him. Sorry, it ain't going to happen. 8 minutes plus 2. Everts is back in front. It ain't going to happen. He's out to make it another set of 2 wins. Looking back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive double wins. This will make it 6. He had a win in the second race in Spain, a third in the first race in Spain. He had a win in the second race in Flanders and a second in the second race in Flanders. Because Sebastian Tortelli won that first race, Sebastian's no longer with us. Coppins is still there in 5th place. Now, I'm going to look at the overall result of the possible overall results. We're still looking at Everts on 50 points. Strabas on 38. Coppins on 36, Tanner Leoc on 33. So 33, 3 points if Leoc wants to pass Coppins. He would pass Coppins for the overall because he's currently in front of him on the track. We'll have Didyka 33 points also in 5th position. Didyka's gone to 4th now, so Leoc has dropped back. Didyka now has 34 points, Leoc has 33. Leoc is in front of Didyka on the track. So at the moment, Josh Coppins, I'm trying to work this out in my head. Josh Coppins is definitely on course for that 3rd overall position. What a result. Return Grand Prix after being out with injury for 7 of them. He comes back and sticks himself on the podium. That's a warning shot to anybody if I've never seen one before. Coppins will be hot for 2007. Hopefully he'll be around in 2008. He's 28 years of age now, so best part of 2 or 3 years still left in that man. The Kiwi kid from Motueka down there in the South Island of New Zealand will, without a doubt, be back. And there he is, as we talk about the man, there he is, Joshua Coppins. He is the man, the comeback kid we'll call him now, because he has made a comeback, and a comeback worthy. 5th place in the race, 3rd overall on the standings. He'll be on the podium. Hey-ho, I think a tear will come down my eye, because he's such a likeable character, there it is, virtual 3rd GP. So it's confirmed, my calculations are right, so makes a change, that's for sure. Josh Coppins, if you're down there in New Zealand, you've stayed up to watch this. Oh, and that is Antti Pirinen. Pirinen with his mechanic alongside him. Oh, Pirinen out of this one. The TM not having the legs here in the UK. Of course, Woody here, the importer of TMs to the UK. The only TM running in the Grand Prix is out. Shame. Anyway, he'll be looking forward to Sweden, because he lives in Finland, so a little bit closer to home. Coppins, well, he's a long way away from home, because he lives on the other side of the world, of course, in New Zealand. He lived with Ben Townley last year. He's living, I think, now with Scott Collum, and the young New Zealander will no doubt be benefiting by the experience of that man. as did Ben Townley, to the fact that Ben keep beating him. So that's nice. Move him and a guy. You let him come to you, and he goes and beat you on the track. Ben Townley, of course, out there in America now. I'm not really kept track with the results that he's been getting, but of course, Ben's always a fighter. He'll be out there fighting for all his worth. Bradshaw down in 14th, James Noble 15th, Manuel Prim, Claudio Frederici 16th. Josh Coppins it is that we're watching at the moment on screen on the Honda. Mark Jones 17th at the moment. That'll be points for Mark. He's done it again. Mark Jones scoring points. I remember Mark has said back in the days of Palmo Honda with Ryan Hughes when he broke his wrist the following Grand Prix, but he was battling with his teammate. His teammate actually knocked him off in Talavera in Spain. There's Jonathan Barragan talking about Spain, and the rider pops up. Jonathan Barragan, the top runner for, of course, KTM at the moment. He's got Cedric Mellot behind him at the moment. De Dijker, 8th place for De Dijker. Marvin Van Dalle on the Shinere China Honda, number 75, he's in 9th. Garcia Vico from, of course, my friend Paulo Martin's team, the Martin Honda team. He is currently down there in 10th. I said to Paulo at the break, you want to give him a poke with something, make him go faster. And he just laughed at me. They were all watching MotoGP at the time. I ain't going to tell you the result. No. Watch it yourself on the replay. I'm not going to tell you the result, but I can tell you it was exciting. There's the team watching on. They're looking at their man. Barragan's mechanic there. As we look at Jonathan Barragan on the 2007 KTM, the apprentice of the team. He came in as the sort of backup tester rider for, of course, Michael Pichon and, of course, Sebastian Tortelli. Or Tortelli. It depends on which part of France you seem to come from. And both riders, of course, as you know, Tortelli injured, won't make a return this year, I don't think, with that leg and hip injury. There is Cedric Mellot, and of course Michael Pichon deciding that the Grand Prix weren't for him for this year. So there you go, 7 Jones it says. So that's Barragan, so I don't quite know what that's all about. Maybe some sort of secret code they've got, because the only Jones I can think of is Mark Jones. He's back in 17th, whereas Barragan is in 6th place. Coppins is in front of him. We have got 2.5 minutes left to go, plus 2 laps, and let's have a look. Everts leads it now. Best lap at the moment, 2:04.274. He's the quickest. 2:05 with Ramon, 2:05 with Strybers, 2:08 with Leoc, and 2:06 for Coppins. So Coppins still in the top 3 as far. No, Barragan is there, 2:05. His best lap so far has been a 2:05.094. His last lap was 2:05.585. as the arms start to ache a little bit, as they generally do near the end of the race. There he is, Everts. Well, he took a moment's pause, a moment's breath. Maybe he was just giving the other guys a chance to lead. He said, well, OK, I'll just put my bike down here and let you guys have a little bit of a run at the front, then I'll just come back past you and just show you how it should be done. Who will replace him at the top? Next year, I tell you what, we of course unibet.com, where you can have a little flutter on the outcome of Grand Prix, and I've got to say I wouldn't want to bet any money next year in MX1. That's for sure. 2:04, so times 4, so that's possibly telling me 3 laps to go. Yep, so at 2:04, that is the time, 2:04.245, so that tells him time with 3 laps yet to go. We're down to 1.5 minutes plus 2 laps. Time is ticking away. Everts is still out there doing what Everts does best, which is lead, win, win, win. 6 this will be in a row. He would have liked to have made it 15, I'm sure of it, but he's going to go for the next best thing, which is 13 in a row. Can he do it? No, he's got 7 more Grand Prix to go after this one. Sweden the next one. Then the Czech, then South Africa, then the Czech Republic, then Belgium, Namur, Ireland, of course, Desert Martin on the Saturday and Sunday for the first time ever. The Netherlands, which is, of course, Lirop on the 3rd of September, and Ernay in France, the site and the scenes of last year's Motocross of Nations. And here comes Strybers. Well, he's decided that maybe second could be better than third. He's got his teammate in front. That, of course, is Steve Ramon on the number 11 machine. That 42 machine you just see going through is Scott Cullum, the New Zealander, and Scott Cullum is already a lap down on the race leader. Is he going to go a lap down on the second too? I suggest that yes, he is. I think Scott Cullum will he'll be learning this year. Well, he's certainly learned about keeping his eye out for who's behind him. Whether the blue flags will now, I don't know. But and Strybers goes through. Well, Scott Cullen moved over to let them through, but obviously must have taken Steve Ramon's eye off the ball for just a moment, so to speak. And, well, you don't give Kevin Strybers another chance because he takes it when he gets it. And he went straight through and he's off. Strybers now second. He's off and running. He's gone. He said, thank you very much. Clear track. I don't think for one moment he's going to catch Everts, although he would dearly like to try, because Everts has already proved the point that he can go past these Suzukis without too much effort. So I have to say that Everts 2:02, best time of 2:02.568 is his best lap so far. Mechanic for Strybers, mechanic for Everts. It's going to be the battle between these two. 2 laps to go. Where are we? Let's have a look for 4 seconds. Only 4 seconds with 2 laps to go. If Everts gets a foot wrong anywhere now, Strybers is going to be on him like a fly on honey, I can tell you. Jeez. I wouldn't like to predict any outcome here at the moment, but I can tell you what one outcome is pretty sure, and that is that Everts is going to be the overall winner. Strybers, no matter what he does now, will still finish in second place because the points difference between them isn't enough. Strybers has now moved to 40 points, so that's 10 points. Coppins still has 36. Diker is his nearest rival on 35. And if you look back to the positions in the race, Diker is down in 7th place, whereas Coppins is in 5th. Barragan is between them. So whether or not Josh Coppins, I don't think for one moment Coppins is going to give up an overall result, 3rd place on the podium in his comeback Grand Prix. Oh, you saw the back of that bike. It unnerved Everts a little bit. His weight was wrong as the back wheel didn't take grip. It didn't pick up grip at all. It's pretty slippery on this track. I'm going to be interested to see what the Americans can do here when they come in September. This, I have to say, is not what I'd call an American track. It's more suited to the European riders, so the Americans might struggle. We'd like to think they would, because we might stand a chance of beating them then. So we should see Carmichael, maybe the other great American rider at the moment, the youngster, Bubba Stewart, of course. I think he was named there for a moment. So not a lot of love between the Carmichael and Stewart, but hopefully they're going to come and represent the country. And who the 3rd rider will be as yet, we don't know. We're not even sure whether it's going to be those two, so we'll have to wait and see. Whatever Roger DeCosta, the team manager, decides to put in. But look at the way the back of that bike was bouncing. That rear shock working overtime to keep that bike in control. And Everts, well, he'll know, and he'll also know that it's a 3-second gap back to 2nd place. 2:04. Strybers, they're going to tell him Strybers is coming. He'll look at that board, he'll just glance across, he'll see that board. 2:04, the lap time. Well, 2:04.880 to be precise, but they're not bothered about the hundreds of seconds. 2:04, he'll know that Strybers is coming, but they're on the last lap, so realistically, unless Everts puts a foot wrong, Strybers doesn't have any chance of robbing this one from him. He'd like to. He's done it once before, but he's not going to do it again. Back marker. So Everts will want to get a clear path through and past him. I'm sure the marshals will have the blue flags out to let that back marker know. And whoa, no, indeed. The back marker cuts right across from Everts. Who is it? It's certainly not the New Zealander. Can't be the New Zealander because they've already passed him once, so he's not that far back. I can't read the number on the side of the bike, so I'm not even going to attempt to. But Everts was almost cut off in his prime, so to speak, there. Right across the front wheel from that back marker, who obviously didn't see the blue flag or just didn't realise who it was that's behind him. Looks like it could be 26. That would be Loris Freeberg still Latvian if it is 26. I'm just looking down even. Yeah, possible. So it could be 26. No, doesn't really matter because we're concentrating on this man. Everts, Everts, Everts. How many times can you say it? How many times can he do it? Well, he's got 7 more rounds to go. That's 14 races. So if he can win the next 14 races, that's what I call tying up a championship in great style. They applaud him as he comes through. The British crowd will really get behind Everts as he goes past number 61. That's Glenn Phillips, the young Welshman. Well, Glenn's done well not to have been lapped to this point. So Glenn, good ride. Hopefully we'll see him down there on Wednesday, the 14th of July for the last round of the Raider Wednesday night motocross extravaganza. £4 to get in, kids come in free. Can't go wrong. I'll be there. Well, just enough to make you stay at home, isn't it? So come down, guys, and support us. So we have a great bit of fun down there midweek. Crockard will be there. So will Mark Jones. Some of the top guys are coming down the race. Checkered flag then. It is Stefan Everts. He does it again and again and again and again. Everts, Everts, Everts. He had to work for it. I've got to say, he had to work for that. That didn't come easy for him. He made that mistake. The bike got away from him, but he came back from 5th position. Came back, came past Leok, came past